Hello dear friends. Friends, welcome to my channel Shaheen English Learners. Friends, today we are going to talk about Tennessee Williams theatricalizing self. So friends, in which we see the autobiographical elements of Tennessee Williams in his writings, how he made gave his impressions through his writings. Uh, so we will see how he was satirizing himself and his family in his and whole his life in his place. So we will see actually the reflections of his own personality in his works, in his essays. Whatever he wrote, there was impression of his personality and his family life in his essays. So friends, we will see each and everything. So before starting our videos, friends who are new on my channel, please like and subscribe my channel so that you may get notification of my new videos. So without wasting time, let's start. So friends, Tennessee Williams, first of all we will see the life of Tennessee Williams. Tennessee was born in 1911 at Mississippi, USA. He got BA degree from University of Iowa. He also studied in University of Missouri. He loved his mad sister Rose very much. This is the name of his sister, friends, whom he mostly portrayed, mostly depicts in his works. His family life was not prosperous, and in his most of plays he is satirizing himself and his family. His famous plays include The Glass Menagerie, A Streetcar Named Desire, Summer and Smoke, and Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. He was awarded with rewards as Pulitzer Prize for Drama, Tony Award for Best Plays, and Kennedy Center Honors, etc. etc. He died in 1983, friends, at New York, USA. So friends, first of all we will see his reflections, his personality and his own life reflections in the play Glass Menagerie. Tennessee Williams' plays are highly autobiographical. His own family life was not prosperous, so in his many plays he indirectly pictures his own life through different characters. This idea came by spotted by an answer Williams gave in his interview. The world live in. I guess my work has always been a kind of psychotherapy for me. So friends, it means that he wrote works for his catharsis, whatever the grudges about life, because he was not ready to face the reality of new life. So he couldn't adjust himself in a new world. So that's why, friends, he was portraying his own personality. He was depicting himself in his plays and his family life, and his homosexuality was also very evident in his plays. So friends, as in The Glass Menagerie, characters Tom, Laura and Amanda are very much like Williams, his sister Rose and his mother Edwina. We can see this very clearly when we look at the dialogue and the relations between the actions in the play and the actions in the Tennessee Williams life. The Glass Menagerie, friends. Tom, the narrator, can be interpreted that Tom is likeness of Tennessee Williams. In most of Tom's dialogues, he tells about family story as he adds, I am the narrator of the play and also a character in it. The other character are my mother, Amanda, my sister, Laura. Tom stands for Tennessee Williams, who wrote the play and tells the story through Tom. Also, for the same reason, Amanda is Williams' mother, Edwina Williams, and Laura in his sister Rose Williams. His own involvement evidence in plays and theatre comes from another comment that he made. Those little glass animals came to represent in my memory all the softest emotions that belong to recollections of things past. So friends, this comment is showing that he also was very much interested in his plays to depict his own life. For depicting his own life, his emotions and family background that was bitter actually. But Tom and Tennessee are poet and victim of depression. So friends, Tom is representing Tennessee Williams expressions and depressions and his problems. So friends, now we'll see how he is criticalizing himself in The Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. It is also one of the best works of Tennessee Williams. So friends, his life as well as his art reflected all the existential confusions of living, as he adds, I hope that I have been able to contribute an understanding about people. While scripting the character of Pollitt family in his play The Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, Tennessee Williams and had his own parents in mind. The raw masculine appeal of the dying patriarch Big Daddy has many parallels with Williams' own vulgar, uncouth, embittered, and yet sexually virile for Cornelius Coffin Williams. Cat on a Tin Roof is about dynamics between members of a wealthy Southern family whose domineering patriarchal figure, Big Daddy, is dying of cancer. The Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. The main relationships concern Big Daddy, his detached, cynical son Brick, and Brick's sexually frustrated but determined wife, Maggie. The play reflects many of the influences on William's life. Big Daddy's family is plagued by a lack of effective communications, as were William's parents. So William's parents had also many lack of communications between themselves and amongst their children. Also, Cat on a Hot Tin Roof deals with Brick's homophobia, which might be linked to represent homosexuality, being gay himself. William dealt with homophobia in society throughout his life, including from his father. Tennessee Williams' self in a street named Desire. Sorry, friend. Tennessee was not happy with New World due to its hardships and hypocrisy, as he confesses, creating imaginary worlds into which I can retreat from the real world because I have never made any kind of adjustment to the real world. So that's fun. Here in this dialogue, he is confessing that he is not ready to accept the hypocrisy of new worlds and affectations in new worlds. William's next satirical triumph, A Street Named Desire, would seek to delve into the polarity and ambivalence of human passion, which rages inside the human breast and threatens to destroy our sanity. A Street Named Desire. The contrary pulls in Blanche, and her swing between sexual attractions and aesthetic repulsions while dealing with Stanley's brute animalisms are more than echoes of William's own homosexual ties. So friends, he was homosexual. So he had relationships with other boys, uh, sexual intercourse stories. He was defamed, or he was not considered the best guy morally because he was morally corrupt. He was using different males for sexual desires, for sexual satisfactions. In Blanche, he created his alter ego, and her search for human wrath, warmth in her reliance with kindness and strangers, was the mirror image of William's own sexually deviant and pernicious excesses. Williams acknowledged that he is Blanche in the play, as he says, I am Blanche Dubus, thus acknowledging his symbiotic connect with neurotically sensitive heroine of the play. So friends, here he is accepting that he, in the disguise of Blanche's character, he is actually himself in the play. Tennessee is criticizing self in Suddenly Last Summer. Suddenly Last Summer is psychologically the most disturbing of his plays, and it would have been unnatural had it not been so. It was intended by the author to be a kind of self-confessional form of catharsis through which he would try and purge out his own demons he had been wrestling with. The parallel between the play and the author's life is hard to miss, even for the most casual readers. The protagonist in the play, Sebastian, who, like the playwright himself, seeks to leverage his art for the purpose of resisting the chaos, internal as well as external, which threatens to tear him apart. Suddenly last summer, the playwright, in its complete identification with his satirical counterpart as Williams Art, too coexisted with the huge sexual appetite, which would often send him scurrying to remote streets in wild search for sexual partners. Elia Kazan, who collaborated with Tennessee Williams in directing most of his famous plays, was perceptive enough to remark, "Everything in his life is in his plays, and everything in his plays is in his life." So he himself is present in his all plays. So friend, now let's see what is conclusion of this today's video. Tennessee Williams put so much of himself into his writings that one is easily tempted to treat them as synonymous. Doing so would indeed to be patently unfair to his enormous talent as a creative writer who, through his wonderful plays, has given so much of traction and diversity to American drama. He used his life experience as one of the metaphors and an important one. His artistic canvas, however, embodied many other such creative resources to provide his plays with such diversity and power that today he ranks as one of the greatest American playwrights of all the times. It is the measure of his greatness that he could transcend his private agony and navigate so naturally from singular to plural to create a universal art. So friends, it was our today's video. Today we discussed about how he was present in his all plays, how his plays were semi-autobiographical, and how he wrote biographically his plays. So friends, it was our today's video. If you like, please don't forget share and subscribe my channel and like it. Thanks for watching.